Friends of Dynnegall, neighbours, peat cutters, crime dryers, cart menders, palisade patchers, hound handlers, bog watchers, and those of you who came only because someone said there would be stew. You are welcome. You are welcome to our muddy, smoky, stubborn little village. Now, I know what some of ye are thinking. You're thinking, Briallen, is Dynnegall truly the sort of place that deserves a festival? And to that I say, it is. Absolutely it is. Because any village can hold a festival when the sun is shining, the roads are dry, the stores are full, and no one has seen claw marks on the South Palisade in 3 whole days. That is easy. 'Tisn't even a festival. That is a picnic with notions. But Dynnegall holds a festival here. Here on the edge of Loch Dynnegall, where the fog creeps in like it owns the place. Here, where the road to Cairmoray is more hole than road. Here, where the peat must be cut in wet wind, the crine must be dried before it spoils, and the black bloods must be reminded again and again that this village is not theirs. That is worth celebrating. Not because life here is easy, but because it is not. Not because we are safe, but because we keep one another safer. Not because Dynnegall is grand, but because Dynnegall is necessary. The peat we cut warms hearths far beyond our own. The crine we harvest fills bellies in lean months. The carts we send north help keep Cairmoray standing, and if Cairmoray stands, then Moray has not yet been lost. That matters. What happens here matters. And yet, when songs are sung of the moonshaes, how often do they mention us? Not often. The bards sing of high kings and shining swords, of Seraphal and moonwhales, of giants and unicorns, sea queens and beasts in the dark. Fine subjects, all of them. Very dramatic, excellent quest potential. But I say tonight that there is another kind of heroism, and it lives here. It lives in the woman who rises before dawn to check the drying racks because one bad mist can ruin a week's crine. It lives in the old man who knows by smell whether a peat brick will burn clean or smoke out a cottage. It lives in the child who runs messages from the north gate to the storehouse faster than most grown folk can lace their boots. It lives in the hands that mend nets, sharpen stakes, calm frightened horses, stir soup, bind wounds, stack fuel, mark the fog line, and still finds time to put flowers on the table. Because beauty is not a luxury. Beauty is how we remind fear that it has not won. And tonight, I want to speak especially of those among ye whose gifts are so small, so familiar, so woven into the pattern of our days, that we sometimes forget to call them magic. Yes, I mean you. Do not look at your shoes. I have a list. Merwin of the West Cottages, who says she knows only a little smoke charm, as if half this village has not relied on her to coax damp peat into flame when the rain has soaked everything through to the bone. Merwin, there are children in Dynnegall who think fires simply like you better, and perhaps they do. Tristan, who stands over the crying racks muttering that he is only keeping an eye on things, while every worker here knows that when he passes his hand over the bundles, Rot thinks twice before settling in. Ye have saved more food than ye have ever taken credit for. Gwenna, maker of midgebane, whose little herb packets smell like old socks and vengeance, and yet without them the bog workers would be carried away by mosquitoes before noon. We are grateful. We are also forming a formal subcommittee about improving the smell. Little Taliesin, who gets headaches before the bad fog rolls in. I know you hate them, but because of you, gates have closed in time. Lanterns have been lit in time. People have come home in time. That is no small thing. Auntie Sinead, who says she canna heal, only help the body remember what it meant to be well. I have seen your songs ease fever. I have seen your hands quiet pain. If that is not magic, then the word is too small. And Racknell. Yes, Racknell, I see you attempting to become part of the wall. Ye are large, but not architecturally convincing. Racknell, who reads a broken reed like a letter, who knows when hoofprints mean panic and when they mean weather, who can look at the march and say, "Not that way," in exactly the tone that makes sensible people immediately choose another. Ye have brought workers home through fog thick enough to swallow prayers. You call it woodcraft. You call it training. You call it nothing worth mentioning. So I am mentioning it. All of ye. Because villages are not held together only by walls. Walls matter, yes. Please continue maintaining the walls. That is not metaphorical. I have seen the South Palisade. But a village is also held together by little mercies, by warnings, charms, songs, habits, by the old knowledge of which path floods first, which herbs draw out fever, and which child needs to be told he is brave before he believes it. Great magic may win wars. Small magic gets people through winter. Great magic may raise towers. Small magic keeps the lantern lit in one. Great magic may be written in histories. Small magic is remembered in whether the babe lived, whether the food lasted, whether the cart made it home, whether the fire caught, whether someone who was afraid felt a hand take theirs in the dark. Small gifts are quiet, but quiet dinna mean unimportant. A hearth is quiet compared to a wildfire, but I know which one I would rather have in my home. So tonight, let us honor the gifts that keep Dynnegall alive. Let us honor those who tend them. Let us honor those who do not think themselves heroic because no one has ever had the sense to say it loudly enough. Well, I will say it loudly. Ye're heroic, not someday, not if a bard arrives from Kevin Moore with a finer harp and better cheekbones, not if Caer Moray sends a formal commendation with a seal and a ribbon and 3 spelling errors. Now, here, in this mud. Ye are the reason Dynnegall stands. And to any traveller among us tonight, any guest, any stranger blown in by storm or fate or whatever strange road brought you to our fire, look around. Remember these faces. Remember this place. Because there may come a time when someone asks why Dynnegall matters. There may come a time when someone says it is too small, too poor, too dangerous, too far away from any throne to be worth saving. And when that time comes, I hope you will remember this night. Remember the peat smoke. Remember the crime stew. Remember the songs. Remember the people who laughed, even with the dark so near. And then I hope you will say, no place is small to the people who call it home. No gift is small when others depend upon it. No village is helpless while hearts still answer when it calls. So eat, sing, dance if you are moved to dance. And if you are not moved to dance, stand near someone who is and absorb the general civic improvement. Tonight, Dynnegall is warm. Tonight, Dynnegall is bright. Tonight, Dynnegall remembers its own worth. And may the Earth Mother, in her wisdom, remember us kindly. To Dynnegall, to small magics, and to the hands that keep the fires lit.